Watch the Mega Millions drawing live tonight here on TV 23. Covering the High Plains with news, weather, and information. From TV 23 Studios in Sublet, this is High Plains Today.
Hi, everybody. It is Friday, September 18th, 2015. Welcome to High Plains Today. On today's show, I'll be joined by my good friend, Dr. Jack Jacob. It's Friday. We're going to talk a little football. Let's take a look at some of the news around the area. Well, the State Highway Patrol reports shortly after 3 Thursday afternoon, a blown-out tire caused an accident that claimed the life of a man from Scott City. 53-year-old Mauricio Romero was driving a Peterbilt truck on US 83 3 miles north of Garden City when he lost control in a rollover accident and was ejected from the vehicle. Now, Romero was not wearing a seatbelt. Monday afternoon brought the announcement of Paul Larkin's resignation of superintendent of USD 480 Liberal. Part of that announcement from the district included the appointment of Deputy Superintendent Renee Hickert as interim superintendent. Now, understandably, the announcement came as a surprise. Hickert said of her appointment, "The most important thing in my mind was I don't want the district to skip a beat. I don't want any time lost in transition, so we just hit the ground running and keep teachers teaching, and I think so far we're doing great." Overall, Hickert said she is ready for the coming challenges. And Sunflower Intermediate students in Liberal formed a replica of the American flag Wednesday as part of an assembly in the school's gymnasium. Now, Sunflower music teacher Andrew Johnson said the assembly is a celebration of the flag with the entire school performing. Military, law enforcement, and fire and rescue workers were recognized in the ceremony, and selected Sunflower youth taught the history behind some of America's songs, such as the Star-Spangled Banner, Stars and Stripes Forever, and Grand Old Flag. The Garden City Police Department, Garden City USD 457, the state of Kansas, the governor, and the Kansas Department of Children and Families are among the defendants in a lawsuit being prepared by attorneys for Shauna Banda that alleges her rights to use cannabis for medicinal purposes and maintain custody of her son have been violated. Banda's civil rights attorney, Matthew Pappas, worked with Sarah Swain, her criminal defense attorney, in preparing the lawsuit. They intend to file it in federal court in Wichita. And the U.S. Navy Secretary Ray Mabus has announced the naming of the USS Wichita, a new combat ship that's expected to be launched next year. A ship naming ceremony for the vessel was held Wednesday morning at Wichita City Hall. Now, naming a ship after a city or state is an expression of gratitude for their support. Now, Kansas is home to about 230,000 Navy veterans. The USS Wichita is designed to handle both nearshore and open ocean operations. The ship is the third in 76 years to carry the name of Wichita. Volunteers fired up the engines of a B-29 Superfortress bomber that was last used during the Korean War. Now, restoring the historic plane has been a 15-year effort. The plane ran all 4 of its radial engines today, a step that volunteers hope will put it one step closer to its first flight. Built in Wichita 70 years ago, the plane was dubbed Doc after being assigned to a squadron of 8 bombers named for Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. It was finished too late to fly bombing missions during World War II, though it eventually served as a radar trainer during the Korean War. And tomorrow in Liberal, there are several activities planned as the 14th Annual Duck Race Festival and the 21st Annual Foundation Party Auction get underway. Now, the duck race starts tomorrow at 9:30 with the Amazing Waddle Poker Run, then the Corporate Trike Race, that ought to be a sight, Fireman's Water Barrel Fight, United Way Chili Cook-Off, and for information on that, you give Mackenzie Hood a call at 624-5400. Then at 2 o'clock tomorrow, the 14th Annual Duck Race. Now, you can still buy ducks right up to post time, $10 per duck, or you can get a 6 quack for $50, or a double quack, which is 13 ducks for $100. Prizes are total prizes are $10,000, with first place being $5,000. And then the SCCC Seward Denim and Diamonds Foundation Party Auction kicks off tomorrow night at the Seward County Event Center. Doors open at 6 o'clock. Dinner will be served from 6 to 7:30. The silent auction starts at 6 o'clock and the live auction starts at 8. So there is all kinds of stuff happening in Liberal tomorrow. So you have no excuse if you're in Liberal and don't have anything to do, especially the duck race. That's going to last most of the day. That's a look at some of the stuff that's happening around the area. Stick around. Be back with weather right after this.
You're watching High Plains Today on TV 23 with host Chris Jewell. TV 23's internet service and 4G live streaming provided by United Wireless. Coverage you deserve. Service you expect. United Wireless.
You want to feel connected, at one with your world. Informed, included, and inspired. So no matter where you are, when important things happen, we're here. At all hours, in the moment, on every screen in your life. Your local TV and radio broadcasters. We investigate and inform, give back to the community, build the local economy, even save lives. America's #1 source for news, weather, and information. And unlike any other news source, we're here, 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 and here. We are broadcasters, always here for you, wherever here may be. Text TV to 52886. Tell Washington local stations matter.
I think someone at my friend's school has this thing called autism. My friend's brother's son has autism. My neighbor's son has autism. My son has autism.
Autism is getting closer to home. Today, 1 in 110 children is diagnosed with autism. That's a 600% increase in the last 20 years. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Something I feel when I'm right here. Something that tells me that I'm This is the place. Everybody here knows it. This is the place. Oh, it's home to me and you. Yeah, this is the place.
Now, the local weather forecast for the High Plains.
And as we look off on the TV 23 tower cam, a few high clouds out there. Other than that, a little wind, but it's not bad. Let's take a look at our readings here at the station. 74 degrees, relative humidity 61%. Winds are now out of the north-northwest at 30. Barometric pressure is on the rise. Looking at our current temps around the area, everybody pretty much in the mid-60s. You can see there is a cold front that's sliding through about over here. And you can see that it has not yet reached Pratt and Medicine Lodge in Perryton because they're still in the lower 80s, upper 70s. Everybody else dropping off into the 70s and 60s. Current dew points, everybody pretty much in the 40s and 50s, except you get over here on the other side of that stationary or that cold front that's moving through this way. And they just had some rain over in the Pratt and Medicine Lodge area, so that's why their dew temps are a little higher. And you can see from the winds where that front is. Got southwest winds over in Pratt and Medicine Lodge. Everybody else out in this part of the world is at the north and northeast. Looking at our highs yesterday at the Garden City Regional Airport, 92 was the high yesterday. 101 back in 1983. 61 degrees for a low last night. 38 the record back in 1981. Nothing in the bucket as far as precipitation. Today's high, 79 degrees. Winds are going to be out in the north at 20. Pretty much already there. Tonight, going to cool off, 51 degrees. You go into that football game tonight, may want to throw a sweatshirt in. Winds are still going to be out of the northeast at 15. Tomorrow, 75. Winds are out of the northeast at 11 tomorrow, switching around to the southeast later in the day. Then tomorrow night, 56 for the low. Partly cloudy. There is a 30% chance of rain after midnight. That carries into Sunday. Rain will be out of here by Sunday morning, but you can see the comfortable days, 75 tomorrow, 78 on Sunday. Then summer's going to try and creep back in. Highs and in the 80s, lows in the 60s. Stick around, markets are next.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
I did. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that strollers have the right of way on the sidewalk?
Yes.
Yep, I did. Did you guys
Did you know that kids who eat breakfast have higher GPAs?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That's actually what I was going to say.
Did you know babies should never touch silver? It's really bad for them.
I knew that.
Did you guys know that statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
I'm putting that on my blog.
I just put it in mine.
Something I feel when I'm right here. Something that tells me that I'm home. This is the place. Everybody here knows it. This is the place. Oh, it's home to me and you. Yeah, this is the place.
Hi, Chris Jewell, host of High Plains Today, a 30-minute news and information program that airs weekdays at noon right here on TV 23. We talk about news, we talk about sports, we talk about weather, we're even going to talk entertainment. We'll have live guests right here on set with me. So, every day at noon, tune in, High Plains Today. We'll see you then.
Weekdays here on TV 23.
It's not his new group of friends. It's not the video games. It's not the neighborhood.
Mom, do I have to go to school today?
The biggest threat to your child's future could be you. Every day they miss, even in middle school, puts their graduation at risk.
Same time next week?
Well, of course.
Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
And welcome back. I'm now joined by my good friend, Dr. Jack Jacob. It's Friday. We're going to talk some football. How are you today?
Man, I'm good. Chris, how are you?
I'm good. You ready?
I am. Are you kidding? After the track meet I covered last week?
That's right. You were Tyrone and Boise City last week, weren't you?
76-48.
That's track meet
That's
for
a basketball
sure.
score.
Okay, so we've got a few games we want to highlight this, today. One of them, Sublette goes to Cimarron, just down the road.
Yeah, it's an interesting matchup, really, because both teams are kind of down this year. They've struggled early, but they've also played some really good competition early, so it's really kind of hard to gauge exactly where they are.
Right, because, Sublette opened with Southwestern Heights.
Who's greatly improved.
Yes.
They're 2-0. They went over to Elkhart and took care of business last Friday.
Yeah, I remember you thought that game was going to be, that might not be too bad a game. Then I saw the score and I went, he blew that one. No. Remember, we used to have this friendly competition about guessing games, and I always did terrible. Okay, so, and then we get a start in the big school, start WAC play tonight. Garden City is going to host Great Bend tonight.
Great Bend beat Hayes last week, but kind of a struggle for them. So I think Garden City rolls. I really do. I'm looking forward to that.
I think the Buffaloes are just going to put it right on the Panthers.
I do. I think they're capable of doing that. And I think, you look at that and you always got to think, we're the 6A. We should have the advantage. We should win.
That's true.
But watching Garden City play this year, I think it certainly is that case.
Okay. All right. And then Dodge City, they're going to go to Wichita Heights. Now, Wichita Heights, they used to be a 6A power, dropped down to 5A now. Not quite as strong as they used to be, but still playing the Wichita Athletic League. So,
yeah, and it was funny. You and I were talking about this off the air, and you were saying, "Whoa, I don't know. Dodge City's got certainly an uphill battle." But the Wichita schools are playing musical chairs this year. It's like this team beats this team, so then they play another team the next week that team beat, and you think, well, that's going to be easy.
Well,
then they get beat.
Just like, okay, Wichita Northwest in the City League goes to Bishop Carroll, perennial power these last few years, whom Liberal knows very, very well.
Yes, they do.
All of a sudden, ba-bam, they upset Carroll. And then they play a Thursday night game last week, and they played Wichita North last week and just kicked them up and down the field, too.
Yep. And now Carroll's 3 instead of 1, a position they don't like to be in.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I pity the next team that has to play Carroll tonight. That could be tough for them. All right, now there are 2 big area games, and you're covering one of them tonight.
I am. Southwestern Heights Mustangs taking on the Meade Buffaloes, and Meade ranked number 1 in 2-1A. And the Mustangs coming in greatly improved. Very interesting thing. We talked in the first week about the shift of the Mustangs from their spread offense to the double wing. The reason that's so intriguing to me is that I found out talking to Coach Scott Mosier that Coach Jordan Mosier for the Mustangs, which, by the way, there's an interesting piece in the Hutch paper today.
Well, yeah, that's a father-son deal, isn't it, between Meade and Southwestern Heights?
So anyway, Jordan Mosier, the coach at Southwestern Heights, grew up with the double wing. That's what they played at Hoxie and some other places, and when they first got to Meade. And now he's brought that system into Southwestern Heights. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think that matchup is a little bit more intriguing because of those changes.
Yeah.
I think Meade probably has a better team this year than last year, and they certainly have a better quarterback in terms of accuracy. He's throwing 130 yards a game, which they haven't had to lean on too much in the past.
True. Meade has always had a big running game here the last few years. So they're having to depend more on the passing game just a little bit.
Well, I don't know if they're leaning on it. I think they're mixing it up a little bit.
Okay.
They're, you have the misdirection with the single wing in the backfield. Well, now they're going to face that in Southwestern Heights. But Coach Scott Mosier from Meade has coached that system many times, so he knows the ins and outs of that. So it's going to be interesting to see that chess match between father and son, having moved to that more familiar offense for Southwestern Heights.
That's kind of, and it's the battle of Highway 54. They're 14 miles apart, and so there's going to be a lot of bragging rights between those two communities, besides. So who do you think has the edge tonight? Any idea?
To be honest, I think everybody would say Meade does. They have the tradition. They have they certainly have taken care of business in a more pronounced fashion this year. But I really think the key is going to be, and I know Coach Skripczyk would want to shoot me for saying this, but I think if the Mustangs walk out of the locker room and put their heads down and question whether they can play with the Buffaloes, I think it's over. And it could get ugly.
Well, you're hoping that they come out thinking that, okay, we're playing the number 1 ranked team in 2A tonight, so hopefully, that it'll be a game. I hope you get a game tonight and not a track meet.
Well,
in that one,
we've had 54-12, 76-48, so we hope this one will be a little better.
All right, the other big game in the region now. There's 2 ranked teams going up against each other because Ulysses is traveling to Holcomb,
right?
And they're both ranked,
right? And then Holcomb ranked number 1 in 4A2, and then Ulysses ranked number 5. So you have that clash going on. This is an intriguing matchup. It really is. Ulysses played. I was a little bit surprised, we'll put it that way, last week. Hugoton comes out and got handled by Guyman.
Right, yeah. Unexpectedly handled by Guyman.
Then they come out and give, quite honestly, Ulysses all they wanted.
Yeah. I saw the score of that game on Saturday. I went, okay, there's another one Jack missed. No, not really. But okay, I did.
So I think it's really interesting because I think, on paper, you would say Holcomb rolls over them. But man, you don't ever say that about the Ulysses Tigers.
Well, I know, and the running back Rudzik. Mm-hmm. I mean, if he gets loose tonight, Katie bar the door.
But think about the other way. If he gets hurt,
well, that's true.
I mean, that's the thing in high school, especially at this level out here where we live, is you have teams that have key athletes that really give them a strength.
Yeah, that's true.
Look at Victoria, the school that lost their quarterback, had to be life-flighted to Wichita, and now they're going from perennial powerhouse to how do we get through the rest of the season?
Yeah. Well, those will be 2 fun games to watch.
They will be.
I will
be watching. I hope somebody will update me.
I will.
Throughout the
I'll
games.
do that. I'll text you. I'll text you the score going on in Holcomb between Ulysses and Holcomb, the Longhorns and the I can't even remember, Tigers. Ulysses Tigers. Meanwhile, you're going to have the Buffaloes and the Mustangs.
Absolutely.
That'll be a fun game. I hope it's a fun game for you.
I hope it is too. It's going to be cool. They've had 100-degree temperatures all week. They've had to practice in that. And now to cool off, I think that will help them to relax a little bit and play with a little bit more energy and fire.
The other thing is, you're going to have a big crowd at Southwestern Heights tonight.
Always.
So,
both
Heights
sides fills
will be
their side. And
yes, and Meade will fill the other side.
There'll be a sea of purple.
Yep, there'll be a sea of purple on one side and red and black on the other.
And the thing that's a little bit unique about Southwestern Heights for some of the smaller schools is they have most of their fans come to the stands instead of parking around in their vehicles.
Yeah,
like other
it's a nice little venue to go to if
is.
you've never been there. All right, Jack, thanks.
Thanks, man.
See you next Friday.
All right.
All right. Stick around. I'll be back with more right after this.
You want to feel connected, at one with your world. Informed, included, and inspired. So no matter where you are, when important things happen, we're here at all hours, in the moment, on every screen in your life. Your local TV and radio broadcasters. We investigate and inform, give back to the community, build the local economy, even save lives. America's #1 source for news, weather, and information. And unlike any other news source, we're here, 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 and here. We are broadcasters, always here for you, wherever here may be. Text TV to 52886. Tell Washington local stations matter.
You realize that 49 million Americans struggle with hunger? That's 1 out of every 6 Americans. These people are around us every day. They're our friends, they're our coworkers, their kids go to school with our kids. Sometimes we're not even aware that they're struggling. This problem is closer than you think. So is the solution.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Something I feel when I'm right here. Something that tells me that I'm home.
And welcome back. Hey, let's take a look at all the games that are happening around the area. And, well, with all the area teams anyway, it is Friday night. Dodge City, as we said, travels to Wichita Heights. Garden City is going to host Great Bend. Hayes travels down to Liberal. And in a big game, Ulysses is going to host Holcomb. Now, Hugoton, they're going to host Colby. Scott City has Goodland at home. Meade's going to travel about 14 miles down to Southwestern Heights. Cimarron going to shoot up Highway 56 to Sublette. Lakin is going to host Elkhart. Leota is at Stanton County. South Gray is at Fowler Satana at South Central. And Rolla is going all the way out to Springfield, Colorado. I really kind of wish Rolla could find somebody a little closer. Last week, they were in Balco. They were in Oklahoma. They need to play some Kansas teams, maybe. And last night, Denver cornerback Bradley Roby returned Jamel Charles' second fumble, 21 yards for a touchdown. 20 seconds left remaining, completing a stunning comeback in the Broncos' 31-24 victory over the Kansas City Chiefs last night at Arrowhead. It sure seems like Peyton Manning is the kryptonite to the Chiefs' Superman. Well, anyway, it's a long season. Let's take a look at our weather before we get out of here. For a Friday, temperature is 74 degrees, relative humidity dropping just a little bit at 59%. Winds have calmed down just a little bit out of the north at 20. The barometric pressure on the rise. Take a look at our 7-day. You can see 79 for the high today, 75 tomorrow, 78 on Sunday. Don't let that 30% chance of rain on Saturday and Sunday mess you up, because that is going to be an after midnight and before 9 a.m. deal on Saturday and Sunday. You can see on Monday it's going to start warming up. We're going to get back into the 80s. Lows will be in the 60s all next week. So going to be comfortable on Saturday and Sunday for sure. Hey, go out and make it a great Friday. Make it a great, safe weekend. If you're going out to watch some high school football tonight, remember, you might want to throw in a sweatshirt. You want to see us on your cable system? Give them a call. Say, I want to see TV 23. Have a great weekend, everybody. See you on Monday.
Keep up to date with the latest information from TV 23 on our Facebook page, KDGL TV.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him going on to fascinate millions with his talent? 1 in 260,000. The odds of this born racer having 157 career top 10 finishes in NASCAR? 1 in 125 billion. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year? 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I'm NASCAR driver Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Something I feel when I'm